Welcome back, guys, to the Queen of TV channel. Before we get started into our intro, let's get started on three things first. One, please watch to the end and do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Two, there will be cursing and profanity. If that's not your cup of tea, this probably is not the channel for you. And three, yes, I will be giving my honest opinion about what I feel on the content of this episode and on H2O as a whole. Without further ado, welcome. I am the host, the queen herself, and if you're watching this, you are either a subscriber or a viewer, and that makes you a prince and a princess. Today we are talking about H2O Season 1, Episode 4, Party Girls. Now, one quick side note. In the previous episode, I had forgotten the name of the title. The name of that episode is Catch of the Day, Episode 3. But today we're talking about Episode 4, Party Girls. The episode starts off with Lewis and Emma out in the middle of the ocean. Lewis is looking at a book about mermaids while Emma is creepily swimming around him. Well, Emma gets a call from Cleo. Cleo and Emma are talking about the fact that Emma is not having her party sleepover this year. It's a thing that she does every year. Well, Emma doesn't want to because of the whole mermaid thing. Cleo lets Emma know that she got a new job at the marine park. Now, I know for some people this might be stupid, but for me, I think it's quite brave of Cleo to still try to have a normal, decent life, despite the fact that she's involved with magic. It does remind me of Piper from Charmed, who, despite the fact being a witch, she deserved some type of normalcy and she fought to have that. So that's what I feel like is going on with Cleo. Emma is not too happy about it. And Cleo stands her ground that she could do this job. She ends the call when her boss, Mrs. Getty, shows up and she gets started on feeding the dolphins fish. To Emma, Cleo is being quite stubborn. While they're doing research, Lewis says that there's key differences to the old mermaids compared to the girls. One, those mermaids didn't even have powers, and two, Cleo, Emma, and Rikki are actually hotter than the mermaids from the old stories. Well, what an introduction. Emma says they'll find out more secrets if they go to Mako Island. Emma said it will be a lot faster if she goes underwater. When she gets there, she gets distracted and starts having fun with the dolphins first before she enters inside the moon pool, where she finds a locket. Remember this. This locket was lost at the bottom of the moon pool, and when Emma looks inside of it, it has this engraving of like waves on it. It used to have something inside of it, but now it does not. She lets Lewis and Rikki look inside of it, and they find absolutely nothing special about it, but Emma just feels like there's something special about this locket. Meanwhile, Cleo is at her job feeding the dolphins. She is being looked at by a mysterious woman in blue. Now, we do not know this woman's name, but she is a very important character. She senses that something is about to happen to Cleo. This, apparently, is the reason why she decides to go follow Cleo, because she is wondering why she is just fully covered and apparently not willing to touch the fish. So she has an idea that Cleo might get wet. While Cleo is transferring the fish from one bucket to another, she accidentally drops one too far in the air and it splashes her with salt water. She tries to get a towel to dry off, but they're all wet. Luckily, the mysterious woman actually gives her a towel. She tells her that it was very timed well, and Cleo apparently lets her know that yeah, it was. She would have gotten salt water in her eye. The mysterious lady says that yeah, she could have. And she comments back when Cleo mentions that the salt water could have stung by recounting with, it does sting, doesn't it? But not when you're actually underwater. Why is that? And Cleo had no answer to that. So the mysterious lady told her, staying dry is the big one compared to everything else that is a mystery, hinting at the fact that she knows that Cleo is a mermaid. Cleo is obviously freaked out. She does not know this woman, but when she looks at her boss, who appears behind her, she looks back at the direction the woman was standing, and the woman is gone. While all this is going on, Lewis is testing these different type of mixtures mixed with water to see how much percentage of water needs to be in everything the girls touch to actually turn them into mermaids. And they stink and they're kind of icky type projects. Well, they get to talking, and Lewis ends up thinking that Emma is getting a text about her sleepover party. Rikki apparently had no idea about this party and asks why no one told her, nor was she invited. Emma tells her it's not really her scene. So Rikki takes that as Emma does not want her there. And she assumes that it is a regular party. Rikki thinks it's about boys hanging out with a bunch of girls, talking about boys. Well, Emma says it's not that kind of party, and Lewis lets the cat out the bag. It is a sleepover. And Rikki tries to make fun of the fact that it was a sleepover and that they could have painted each other nails and maybe they could do each other's hair. Well, the joke's on Rikki because one of the sprays that Lewis uses actually has a 32% content of water in it, which caused her to be turned into a mermaid. They later meet Cleo at the Juice Net Cafe. Cleo lets Emma and Rikki know about her encounter with the mysterious woman and even said that she knew it was dangerous for Cleo to get water on herself. Now, Emma cuts in and says, "You got water on yourself. I knew it." Cleo stands up for herself, rightfully so. It's like the last two episodes after episode one, Cleo has been given a lot of shit about the fact of how she's handling her mermaid issue. And she's finally sticking up for the fact that she has every right to work this job and that she can do this. And that she's not going to spend her entire life being afraid of water. Pretend like everything's okay and not trying to live some semblance of normalcy. She even claps back at Emma about being too scared to have her party and be willing to shut down and not live her life because she's afraid of what would happen if everyone sees that she's a mermaid. Emma denies this, but her face says it all. Emma's telling the truth, and for once, Rikki agrees with Cleo. Rikki is starting to redeem herself, and Emma is learning a valuable lesson about life. Cleo compliments Emma on the necklace, and Emma tells her where she got it from at the bottom of the moon pool. Emma decides to take Cleo's advice and ends up calling her mom to say to send out all the invitations so everyone that should be invited to the party actually shows up. Well, before those messages can get through, Zane and Miriam decide they want to play a trick on the girls by giving them prune juice, making them think it's soda until Cleo takes a sip. It's all fun and games until everybody's phones start ringing. Everyone except Miriam. She wasn't invited, so Zane has an idea that they can just crash the party. Now we do find out at the party that Miriam and Zane's families are very close to Emma's parents. Matter of fact, Zane's dad does business with Emma's parents. So Emma is well class off, basically. The party is about to start. Everybody's getting everything together. And Cleo asks Emma if they should try something new this year instead of, straight up vegan options. But Emma says, yeah, we might as well throw sugar in there too, being very sarcastic. When Emma asks what they tell people about the towels, Cleo says that we should just tell them that your mom is doing laundry. Everyone shows up. Emma makes sure everyone has a quiet room for training and everything. They all tell her that they miss her on the swim team. And Zane and Miriam show up. Emma is not happy about it and wants Zane and Miriam to leave. Her mom, however, stops this when she comes downstairs. She's happy to see them both and allows both of them to stay. Rikki is supposed to guard everything and watch them. Well, Zane being there starts putting a damper on the party. All the girls just want to talk to him. So Emma takes Zane upstairs away from all of the eyes of the ladies just to have a talk with him. Leaving Cleo downstairs by herself with Rikki just doing whatever. Well, Emma confronts Zane about crashing her party and about the fact that he's sitting there flaunting himself in front of all those girls in front of Miriam, who's supposedly his girlfriend. Well, Zane apparently cuts that off real quick. He says that Miriam is not his girlfriend. She's just some girl she has, some girl he has follow him around. So basically a damn groupie, which the fuck is Miriam thinking? And I'm not going to bring up any future references on his relationships, but who would want to date somebody like this? Emma calls him a user, and Emma brings the pastries that Zane had brought. They think he put prunes inside of them, and it turns out he did not put prunes inside of them. They're regular pastries. Well, they get fed up with him and they kick him out. Apparently, Miriam doesn't seem to care because she didn't go with him. They all start having a towel fight after Emma leaves. Miriam has been looking at that locket that Emma has been wearing all night. Apparently, the type of taste that Miriam gives off that she has apparently doesn't matter when it comes to the type of jewelry she wears, because she obviously would wear something somebody's grandma would wear. She tries to steal it, but before she can, Emma is helping out one of the girls there, and she's trying to be a nice host and accidentally ends up getting her hand wet. Cleo has to improvise and run to a closet where she has to get inside of a sleeping bag to hide her tail. Now, she tries to derail everybody from her tail so she can leave. So she asks them to bring out the DVDs and get comfortable. While Miriam has another idea. They play a sleeping bag game, and Miriam uses Cleo as a way to distract everybody so she can steal the locket. Cleo is surrounded with a bunch of girls, and she decides to go ahead and use her powers. This results in Miriam getting drenched, her entire top ruined. Emma makes up a convincing lie and goes looking for Cleo. She finds Cleo in the bathroom, and Cleo is drying herself off with a blow dryer. Emma used the rest of the towels. Miriam gets fed up, makes an entire scene, and decides to take Emma's locket. Rikki obviously saw her, telling her to give it back. And when Miriam refuses, Rikki knocks it out of her hand. Like I said, Rikki is starting to redeem herself. After her last two episodes, she was not the best. Miriam does not give a damn in the slightest. She basically says that who's going to believe her over Miriam, because no one is going to actually believe that Miriam stole the locket, because Miriam would not be the type of person to want something like that. Rikki might, because of the background that she seems to come from, which is meaning that Rikki is poor. Rikki is speechless. She tells Emma and Cleo, but Rikki ends up agreeing with Miriam. No one's going to believe her word over Miriam's, so they let it go. Emma and Cleo did have a heart-to-heart earlier while this was going on, where Emma admitted that Cleo was right about everything, and it makes Cleo feel really good that her advice actually helped. Well, once Rikki tells him what had happened, Emma decides to give the locket to Cleo. Her reasonings is that Cleo managed to hide being a mermaid in a room full of people, so that takes some type of skill. So as a result, from here on out, that is Cleo's locket. Cleo wears the locket to work, where she runs back into the mysterious woman again. The woman said the locket used to belong to Gracie. Now, this is some full confirmation. Yes, this mysterious woman's name is Miss Louise Chatham. She used to be one of the original three mermaids from 1955. And there was a mermaid named Gracie along with her. We'll mention the other girl once we get further into the season. But this was obviously Gracie's locket. Now, she said that Gracie lost the locket at Mako Island. Spoiler alert, that's not 100% true. Other than that, she, in her own way, admits that yes, she used to be a mermaid, but she ignores the question by saying that yes, she is 65 years old, but that's not what Cleo meant. She asked Cleo's name despite the fact Cleo has a name tag on, and she tells her, Miss Chatham tells Cleo, you and your friends enjoy it while you can, and that maybe she'll be all right. Sending a clear message that whatever happened to Gracie affected not just Gracie, but their entire group. So Cleo would have to be extra careful. But this also speculates that Cleo is exactly like Gracie. So it seems that Cleo and Gracie were on the same page about being mermaids. It's not something deep down they've always wanted. But we'll know more in later episodes and in the later season. So, my view on this. Like I said, we really don't get that much of Lewis in this, and that's okay, because it's not like it means that the episode is bad without him. The episode is very good. We see a lot of stuff happen, and we also get a lot of answers. For one, with the Zane and Miriam relationship, they're not actually a couple. So they're more like of an open relationship type couple. They're together, but as far as Zane's concerned, he's just weighing out his options. Miriam is just thinking they're together. So it's a one-sided love, which is really messed up of him to do to her. If you don't want to be with her, tell her that. We see that Rikki isn't liked because of who she is as a person and her background, and that does affect her. We know that Emma is from rich money. And not only that, we know that Emma herself can be stubborn and at times controlling. Cleo has finally stood up for herself after the events that she went through in episode 2, especially in episode 3, and ended up being right. Though it was very risky of it being a situation where she was in her mermaid tail in a room full of people, she managed to have some quick thinking and got herself out of that situation. which led to her being granted her rightful locket, befitting of the new mermaid taking over not only the position of Gracie, but her powers as well. So far, so good. Everything is still looking up, and hopefully it continues. But that's all I have for you guys today. I hope you guys are having a blessed day and a wonderful day. Gosh. Also, if no one has told you this before, I'm telling you now. I love you, and I'll see you guys in the next one. But you already know, we'll be back again. Bye, guys.